for business reasons for basketball. We talked about it with Cerebro Sports yesterday on the show. Have you done that yet?
No, that actually today is going to be a pretty chill day. There was not much to it. Ryan will arrive sometime this evening, but it'll be pretty much throughout the day tomorrow and Sunday.
Okay.
And then we'll bounce out. He has his schedule. He's going to present that schedule to me, and once I get it, then I'll know a little bit more. So I won't be able to share on the block where exactly it's going to be. All of those things are already assigned. It's core basketball. I mean, AAU circuit type of basketball. So a lot of those teams, it's not like a camp or anything like that. So otherwise, I give information, and promote it out there. But these games are already going to be played. There's going to be some kids coming in town. So a lot of these will be able to get profiles and certifications on what they're doing throughout this tournament and the competition. So it's going to be pretty cool.
I can't wait to see, because Cerebro Sports is certainly blowing up and heading in the right direction. So to see what that's, what you can do to help out too. So we'll see.
It's a way of giving back, Bacher.
That's right.
Because I'm one of those guys that got pushed over a little bit.
That's right.
I want to give these guys an opportunity, and that's why I feel I can do it.
Did you have the edge on your chip on your shoulder that a lot of guys do if you get passed over in the draft, to basically just to every team?
Yeah, I would have to say yeah. And you got to realize too that my draft class was absolutely phenomenal.
Stacked,
right?
Yeah.
My career high game was against somebody in my draft class. It'll actually surprise you who that is. You want to take a guess? It is a point guard that is a Hall of Famer, and I'll give you 3 guesses. Or you can call in to the Sutter Heyman text line at 402-464-5685 if you can guess who I have my career. And don't Google it. I know some of you guys are going to go to the Google machine and start Googling it. But if you call in, matter of fact, I'll send you whoever without Googling, if you're honest, and you're the number, okay, one of my numbers in high school was number 6. I played football with the number 6. If you're the 6th caller and you're able to guess, honestly, where my career high and who the point guard was that I got my career high on, I'll send you an autograph E-Strict picture.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. And there's a few guesses. I won't give my guesses away because I know that class has a few Hall of Fame point guards in it.
We'll give it away at the second segment. If I'm going to let you allow it. The next segment we'll hopefully have a 6th caller that calls in, and we'll go from there.
And we're starting to get some gifts out here, like some meat tries for us. We got some chocolate out here. So
summer sausage from the Mercato.
Oh, that looks good.
I'm about to go in.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun out here. Live from the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. Come out here and join us. We're having a lot of fun. And it is a big basketball weekend. Obviously, the Final Four. I can't wait for this. I'm going to ask you, I have a list since 2000 of the most outstanding players in the Final Four. So we're going to give you some trivia as well as I did it. It's going to be basically the ticket water cooler against On the Block, because I already had Nate do it and he got 14 out of 21. So that's a pretty good measure you have to do, but it's either or. So remember, we'll see if you can do a little bit better. That'll be fun here in a little bit. Like we said, the Final Four this weekend, and it's a blue blood Final Four. Very excited for it. Coach K's final game is going to be this weekend, one way or the other, maybe on Monday. But obviously the matchup with North Carolina, a lot to dive into there. It's exciting, and we'll get onto that later in the show. I want to focus on the Big Ten and Nebraska though, because as maybe to be expected, but still over the last few days, we've seen the best of the Big Ten, the best players go ahead and declare for the draft. Johnny Davis, Jaden Ivey, Keegan Murray, among those guys. I also saw today Travion Williams isn't going to come back to Purdue. So that's
an interesting one for me, but we'll get into that.
He seems like he maybe would benefit by coming back. But he's an older guy, so a lot of those guys just want to move on. Luckily, Nebraska got Derek Walker, an older guy himself, to come back. Do you think all these guys leaving kind of opens up the door, obviously, not just for Nebraska, but for anybody in the league to take over, keeping in mind that Kofi Coburn has not made his decision yet?
I really do. I think it does open the door, because as long as you can maintain some form of continuity, right? We know that a lot of the teams that maintain some form of continuity, i.e. the Baylor that year when they won the championship, they actually had a good core of upperclassmen leadership that actually was able to be a part of that run. You see that a lot when that does happen. The only time you really saw when it was crazy success out of the one and done types is when Kentucky made those runs during those periods. And I don't think that you really saw a lot of one. You may have seen one guy bounce out, but Duke has been very successful at keeping guys around. I think Syracuse, for the most part, does a good job of keeping guys around. And then, obviously the same thing happens with Gonzaga, and that's why they've been able to maintain quite a bit of success. As of late, they've had a few that bounced out pretty early, but for the most part, they've had guys that stay around, i.e. Drew Timme and so forth, guys like that. So even Hachimura, he wasn't a young guy, but he left a little early, but that's it. It's not too many guys.
I think Holmgren will probably leave early.
Holmgren's done.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be in the top 5, no doubt. Holmgren will be in the top 5, I think. But the thing people don't understand too, Bach, man, is, and that's why I love we're next to each other. We get a chance to really chop it up.
Yeah.
But the thing I also, man, is people, when they're looking at their draft status, some things they don't account for, and also maybe agents don't account for, is the international. Because every year you see at least 5 guys internationally that just kind of pop out of nowhere. Like, where did they come from? I've never heard of this dude before. And they end up having, some marginal success or some good success. But most people going into the draft don't also account for that as well. So when they see themselves falling, they're like, well, who's this guy?
Yeah.
I know who that is. I've seen him. I've matched up against him. But where did this guy come from? And that's what's missed out sometimes.
Well, and I think now, too, with the G League, that's going to be another thing where guys are getting overlooked. Now, I know that they do get, some of those guys are top guys going into the G League. So you might already expect them to be there. But I think there's going to be, maybe 3 G League Ignite players in the lottery or, in the top 20 picks this year. So that's another thing to consider of the names that you don't know if you're not watching the G League. We had an NBA mock draft come out. Again, everybody's kind of looking at those pretty closely because Bryce has made the decision. He's hiring an agent. He's moving on. He's actually with Jay-Z's agency there, so that's kind of cool. Yeah. But this latest mock draft had him as high as 20. This one to the Bulls. The order isn't out yet, so we'll kind of have to see how all that plays out. But it's a crazy day in Nebraska here because for the longest time, like you said, when Kentucky was having all that success with those one and dones, people kind of thought maybe you should replicate that blueprint, as difficult as it may be. Maybe, Nebraska was always going to have a hard time getting it. They finally get that one and done type. They finally get that guy. And obviously it didn't stick. And it really hasn't for, like you said, for a lot of these teams to get the one and dones, unless you're blending them in with top tier talent that's going to stick around for a little bit. And, I don't, it's just so hard to diagnose. As we get further away from the season, have you been able to diagnose a little bit better what was wrong with this past year's team? Was it just a group of mismatched pieces? Was it the senior leadership seemed to be there. Obviously injuries played in, but I think part of it, and it seems to be hitting the baseball team now, hit the football team earlier, just seems to be if you get any sort of negative momentum, and they had that after the first game, it's hard to shake that in Lincoln lately.
Yeah, it's just it seems to be there's not a lot of continuity. I can't specifically put a hand on it as to what exactly it is, but you can definitely see there was a lack of continuity. There was a lack of probably buy-in. And what ends up happening, and we've talked about this a lot, what ends up happening is you initially are in the buy-in mode. But when it gets tough, when the fight gets hard, when it gets really difficult, you revert back to old habits.
Oh, yeah.
So you revert back to what you knew in AAU. You revert back to what you knew at ASU. You revert back to so each individual person, and then it becomes a collective thing. You're seeing ASU, you're seeing AAU, and you're trying to figure out, well, how can I get in and do me you?
Yeah.
Me too. How can I get in and do me too?
Yeah.
Right? So then it's a snowball effect of just a bunch of bad shots, a bunch of, defensive mishaps and issues because you're mad, you're not ready, and there's no cohesion on any aspect, both offensively and defensively, and then it becomes a snowball.
Yeah, and I thought they did an okay job of adjusting because at least, at first it was somewhat a problem where they thought they had the shooters and the team just couldn't shoot. As the season progressed, they started to shoot better, but I think it was because they were taking better shots. They started taking less threes. And by the season's end, obviously we saw them make their little run, but it was too little too late at that point in time. They had their games where they were blown out. That's going to happen. I believe, if you're not a great team every year, a few games, things just aren't going to go right. So I almost see those as outliers, but they were close with a lot of those teams. It just, and in a competitive team, that was definitely what ended up being a 13 seed, but a 14 seed for most of the year that you wouldn't want to see in the tournament. But ultimately, Nebraska, regardless of what I'd like to say there, they did take their first round exit, as they have been doing as of late in the conference tournament. But maybe the door's opening a little bit, at least, if not for Nebraska, just for everybody in the Big Ten, because they had 3 out of the 5 All-Americans, in this past year, and those guys are going to the pros. I'm very interested to see if Kofi Cockburn comes back. I know we've talked about it before. His game doesn't necessarily translate to the NBA, so the longer that he stays at Illinois, I think the more of a legacy he can build for himself there, and maybe that in the end might pay him a little bit more as far as NIL stuff and being able to come back to Illinois and that sort of thing than getting lost in the NBA pretty quickly, because I can't imagine he'd be, he's kind of similar to Luka Garza, I suppose, different games to a degree, but not necessarily an NBA type as the league has just shifted away from the dominant big men down low.
Yeah, it definitely has. And it was very relevant. I mean, evident, not relevant. It was very evident when you saw it happen in the NCAA tournament. And he did do a good job. He did his thing. But the thing about Kofi is he's not Edey. Yeah. Right. It would be tremendously different if he was like Edey. Now you're looking at a Shaq type player, right? Yeah. You could maybe get away with it if you're a Shaq type player, but his size isn't necessarily a dominant size. Yes, he has dominant strength, but he doesn't have that dominant size, right? So he's not a Barkley type. Yeah. He's not a Karl Malone type. He does stuff around the rim. They've got guys for you that can handle you around the rim.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, just because you mentioned Zach Edey. They ended up losing and going out of the tournament with their 7-4 guy on the bench for the last 10 minutes or whatever it was.
Against a small team.
This because that's the way basketball is kind of gone.
The new game. Yeah, that's the way, the style of the play.
Yeah, and it's just amazing. Now, I still would like to have one of those guys on there because there are some teams that just can't handle their size. Right. So, but you're going to have adjustments, and so we'll see kind of how that goes. For what it's worth, too, Kofi last year flirted with the transfer portal. I remember there was a few weeks where he was out there saying, I might not come back to Illinois. I'm a free agent, basically. So maybe is he going to do that again? We'll have to see. Brad Underwood has not been able to get the wins in the tournament as much as needed for how good that Illinois team's been over the last couple of years. So I think that the more than anything, these major players will open up the door for Illinois, but maybe for Nebraska a little bit too. It's just hard, I guess, for me, because to kind of put my mind around what this team's going to look like. We still have somewhat of an idea, but in basketball these days, I go on Twitter every day or Reddit and see 5 guys enter the transfer portal. It's like, geez. And Nebraska's are, I know Jackson Cronin wasn't a big part of the team, but, they had that the other day. So there's already been a lot of movement this offseason for Nebraska. Derek Walker returning, we've kind of talked about. Do you expect to see Trey McGowan's or Lat Mayen back as of now, or do you think that Nebraska's probably going to have to go hunting for a few more spots?
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Lat Mayen doesn't return. I'm going to say there's probably an open door for Trey, but you've got to remember they're already, before the commitment to Walker, we're at 14 scholarships. You got to get to 13. So you're already at 14. He put you at 15. You got to be, so there's got to be some discussions, some movement, and where is that going to be? So you really got to look at who is going to be a part of your core. Do you want to shift somebody to make a move into the transfer portal? I would venture to say that Lat Mayen is one of those that you probably want to move on. At his size, you had sparks maybe of his shooting every now and then, but for the most part, you've had a lot of, lack of rebounding, not really anything you bring in defensively, couple sparks here and there, but for the most part, he was just a piece in that puzzle. So yeah, I don't see Lat, but I definitely could see the uses of what Trey could bring coming back. But other than Trey, there would be nobody else. But I would first like to see what other pieces and conversations would be going on to try to shift somebody out to make room for him. Do you want to do that because you have a senior guy that's older guy, or do you want to establish? But that's the quagmire that Fred is in the staff, because they got to win.
Yeah, they got to win now.
And Trey is the type of guy you could use to help you win. They don't necessarily have time to solidify a foundational season of 2 or 3.
And I know he was hurt this past year, so his numbers didn't quite stack up, but I think you would feel pretty darn good about him and Walker coming back for a third year, probably both of them starting for a third year. Like you said with Lat, I know that he gets not the favorite Husker on the text line at times. I don't think he's going to live up to maybe the potential people maybe have put him in at one point in time. I just always felt like he was not out of position as far as what he was playing, but out of position as far as his role on the team. I would be fine with Lat Mayen returning and being, a spark, a 7th or 8th guy off the bench. I just don't know if you're putting your best foot forward if he's one of your top 5 guys again. And so, I mean, we'll see. I mean, or he could improve. We never know kind of how it comes. If he comes back, I'll welcome him with open arms. I feel like he's just because of the way his shooting has been so streaky, and that's what he's supposed to bring first and foremost to this team. I think he would be better suited in that role. But you got to get guys that can play better than him, and that's been part of the problem. Is okay if you're taking out Lat, then who's starting instead of Lat Mayen? It was tough. I mean, we talked about it all year on the post-game shows. Okay, how do we tweak the starting lineup? Eventually, there's not enough tweaking to be done. You just don't have the team probably to make too much of a better starting lineup out of it. So we'll see what they're able to do. It's going to be exciting. Some people are mad at former Husker coach. I should say Jeff Goldman in particular called him out today. Former Husker coach Barry Collier today for firing his head coach this late into the season. It's kind of funny because the season's still here. I mean, there's still Final Four games. I was thinking the same thing about Nebraska basketball. I mean, it seems like it's been a month since they've played, and we're all ready to move on to next season and try to figure all these things out. There's still guys that are playing that are going to have to make decisions, after this weekend, which is kind of silly. But would you take any offense to Barry Collier waiting this long? It's not like I don't think he did it purposefully. I don't know what happened or, as far as what kind of ultimately broke down today, but he's not doing Butler, any good by waiting this long either.
Is it muted?
I think we're good. Let me. Okay. Oh, it says Mike is muted. I think we're good. Let us know back in the studio, Nate, if you can hear us here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You guys are good. Also, I'm glad that you guys had a little break here because I'll go ahead and I don't even know if I can play this. But Oscar Tshiebwe, Kentucky big man, has officially been named the AP National Player of the Year, the second time in Kentucky's history. The only other to do it is Anthony Davis.
Wow. Yeah, that's some good company to keep yourself in. Maybe a little bit of surprise. So maybe we could talk about that here in a second too. As I mentioned, the Big Ten had 3 of the 5 All-Americans. He was on there along with of a Kansas Akbajo as well. So we'll kind of break that down. We got plenty more to come back. I also want to quiz Strick when we get back on Final Four Most Outstanding Players. I did it with Nate, so we're having a little bit of a rivalry between On the Block and the Ticket Water Cooler. We'll see which show can win. That's coming up next year on the Block on 93.7 The Ticket.
Home Builders Association of Lincoln and Bombers Garage are proud to sponsor this year's Cruisin' for the Trades car show on May 1st. It's the first major car show of the season, and they have 20 plus big trophies for muscle cars, old cars, classics, trucks and bikes, EVs, and anything in between. Register your car today at hbal.org and enter into as many categories as you wish for the show at SCC's campus at 88th and O. Proceeds from the event go to the Lincoln Home Builders Care Foundation to support careers in construction. Register today at hbal.org.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great?
Come on back and have a seat.
Good asks you what haircut you'd like.
I have all your details from last time. Would you like the same haircut today?
Great already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
Did you know your air ducts can hold up to 17 pounds of dirt, dust, pet dander, and so much more? John Henry's is here to help make the air you breathe cleaner with a duct cleaning. If you've never had your ducts cleaned, now is the best time, especially if you have pets, someone in the home with allergies or asthma, or you've ever done a renovation. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Neil Armstrong waited 6 hours and 39 minutes to step onto the surface of the moon. Jackie Robinson waited 20 months to play his first game with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even DiCaprio had to wait 22 years to win an Oscar. You can wait until your destination. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
There's nothing quite like the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercato offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercato serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercato today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Have you ever wanted to build a catapult? Have you ever wanted to launch something other than water balloons with a water balloon launcher? Do you want to be a national champion? Then you need to get a team and sign up for the National Avocado Launching Championship, May 21st in North Platte. That's right, the National Avocado Launching Championship is taking place right here in Nebraska. Launch avocados for fame and glory. Sign up at avocadolaunching.com. That is avocadolaunching.com. And remember, the top prize is $5,000.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Friday to everybody out there. We are excited. It is Final Four weekend. Not many better weekends than this across the sports calendar. We're also excited because we are live here on the block at the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese. Of course, Mercato sponsors us every day, every show, so we're very excited to be out here. We got some goodies out here. We're already snacking on. They gave us some good go home treats here. I can show up here. So we're very excited about what we got here. You should be excited too. Get on out here, 84th and Havelock. Buy one, get one free on steakhouse burger patties. Nick was out here. Big Frank was out here already taking advantage of that deal. It's only available during the show hours. So up until 6 o'clock, just mention the ticket at checkout. If you forget the words there, the ticket, just look at us. We're right over here. We can see you purchasing it and say those guys said that I could get a good buy one and get one deal. So yeah, but the ticket will work too. Come by and check us out. The incredible variety of meats with all types of cuts. Plus, there's some seafood as well. And again, we're sponsored by the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese every day, so we love to be out here. As we mentioned, going to break, or at least we got updated by our producer Nate back in studio. The Player of the Year for Nebraska, or excuse me, for I always say it's funny how often you just. How long I've been in this business. If I usually get a word confused, I'll just throw Nebraska in there. But it's not Nebraska. It has nothing to do with Nebraska. NCAA Player of the Year now, Oscar Tshiebwe from Kentucky. Kind of interesting. Most years you have a front runner or somebody that's clearly out there. Now he's up there as far as all Americans this year, along with the Johnny Davis, Keegan Murray, Kofi Coburn, Jabari Smith types. But I was a little bit surprised to see him win that one. Oscar Tshiebwe takes the most or the best player across the country. I believe it's the Naismith is what he won today.
I want to be honest. That's the type of player that Nebraska needs.
Oh yeah,
just that relentless, unstoppable, just Dennis Rodman-ish. Just I'm going after everything. But what I love about him even in that coming off of his freshman year, where he averaged 11 points and 9 rebounds as a freshman, almost a double-double with West Virginia in 10 games. He decides to make a move, and he totally expanded his game. I'm going to be totally honest with you. If it wasn't for Tshiebwe, Kentucky would have fell out of the tournament and wouldn't have done much of anything, because there were many a nights that he literally put them on his shoulder and carried them to a win. So kudos to him. Surprise. Johnny Davis got about 10 votes. Throwing Keegan Murray for one and Kofi for a few. But for the most part, he dominated the competition, and I was surprised. But
yeah,
listen, kudos to him. 60% from the floor shooting. Did a wonderful job in leading his team, and he increased his point numbers by 6 points, and was leading the charge for a tough SEC conference.
Yeah, until they ran into, of course, they ran into St. Peter's. We got more food here, but St. Peter's took down the AP Player of the Year in Kentucky in the first round. So that's always going to be a memorable moment from this tournament. As we speak of this tournament, the Final Four, might talk a little bit about it more in the second hour too. But are you leaning a certain way? I know your bracket, like mine, has been blown up, but now as you go into this Final Four, Duke, North Carolina, obviously Kansas, and a bit of a beat up Villanova there. Do you think that you have a team that you think will win this game, or this tournament on Monday, I should say?
I love Jay Wright. I think he's a tremendous coach. Jay Wright is the type of coach that he knows the style of play that he likes to play. He knows and expects a certain thing out of his kids in the way that they handle their business on the court and off the court. And he has that, and they all seem to have good character in which they buy in to the system, or Jay Wright's not having it. It's, he's one of those type of coaches as well. I just think that the injuries are hurting them right now. I just think they don't have enough depth. They're already playing about a 7-man rotation.
Yeah.
And you're losing some of your key players. You have a bunch of players that really haven't had a lot of that opportunity. Now, they could shine.
Yeah.
We don't know that. I mean, we've had situations
where that
happened.
Bet against Jay Wright.
And he's going to have them well prepared. But at the end of the day, I just don't think that they have enough to be able to overcome a very deep Kansas team.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. Justin Moore is the player that got hurt at the end of their win, getting into the Final Four. You could tell at the time it was bad. I mean, his teammates, usually when you get to the Final Four, there's the dog pile at half court. Everybody's everybody's partying. It was a bit of a somber tone for Villanova because they might have seen their national championship hopes kind of fallen there at the end. He's their second leading scorer throughout the year, and they're very guard oriented. I mean, they were playing through those guys, but the forwards have played pretty well in the tournament, though. I will give them that. So at least there is that spark. But like you mentioned, I mean, they're comfortable with a 6-man rotation when Moore is healthy. So it's they're really going to test their depth there, and we'll see what they can do at Villanova in that game against Kansas. How about the other side of the bracket? Duke, North Carolina, obviously Coach K's final game. These teams split both their games in the regular season. Now they match up for the first time in the NCAA tournament. It almost feels like, I mean, I guess if you're a Carolina fan, maybe you're feeling the same way. Like history is leading up to this perfect setup for North Carolina to beat Duke, and you can send Coach K out the door. But to me, it feels like this is like a send-off from the basketball gods for Coach K to get one more victory, redeem that loss against North Carolina, who, they've got a lot of guys that can get hot. That's the one thing about Carolina. I think Duke's got way better talent in this game. Banchero being the leading part of that, probably the best odds on chances to win the most outstanding player of this tournament, of this Final Four. But they've got several players. Caleb Love went off a couple nights ago or a couple rounds ago for 28 points. The Oklahoma transfer down low. Brady Manick has been incredible when he's been able to play, unless he's throwing elbows and getting kicked out of the Baylor game. They've got a good group of guys. Not necessarily. Sometimes it's better to have that one guy, and maybe Armando Bacot is that you rely on every game to be your leader. But I think they're in that weird case where they've got it. I mean, it's North Carolina, so I suppose it's not that weird. They always recruit well, but they're in that weird nice situation of you don't know who it's going to be coming from that night.
Well, and that's the part, because they have great guard play. They already have that. We know that, and Love and Davis have potential to go off. So we know those things. We know Bacot is going to handle the middle. He's going to block shots. He's going to rebound his tail off. He's going to beat you up. He's going to do a lot of those things on the interior. And then Manick is it's a Manic Monday. If they get there, it may be a Manic Monday. And so with him, with his versatility, we saw how close they got to losing once he went out of that game, and they were blowing him out. I can't remember exactly which game it was, but they were beating him, and he ends up getting kicked out of the game.
Oh yeah, the Baylor game.
Baylor came
around, yeah.
And Baylor almost, because after listen, they were beating him soundly.
Oh yeah.
Manick goes out and leaves the court, and that game. So for me, Manick is basically the cornerstone to what's going to happen if they're going to have success against Duke. You obviously got revenge factors that are in place, as you said, by the trouncing that they got at Cameron Indoor Stadium on the send-off of Coach K. So when you look at all those components, it's going to make for a tremendous, enlightening, powerful, impactful game.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to watching it.
And I think it's almost going to, unless, it's just, I don't even know how it can't. It's almost going to outshine the championship game if either of those teams win it. Yeah. I mean, the story from this season will be the Final Four victory there, unless it's like a buzzer beat or something amazing in the championship game. Because, again, the story just couldn't be written any better for either side, right. To have this Final Four meetup. And it's amazing. It's going to overshadow the Kansas-Villanova game a little bit as well.
It's a good thing it's a nightcap.
Yeah, and it is. They set it up in the right situation there. Hey, Sorensen's back. Oh, no, he's back for the keys. So there we go. Yeah, I need to be able to drive home. So Sorensen brought my keys.
We don't want to get stuck.
So that's always good news. But, yeah, the Kansas in the North Carolina Duke game is just it's hard to put it into the correct words of, like, it's just perfect. I mean, this is all the stars aligning for a great matchup. That's going to be something that, certainly for Duke fans, if they win this game, or for North Carolina fans, people that'll be there, even just watching it, that's when they're going to tell, their grandkids about one day. So I can't wait for Saturday for that game.
And you got people like canceling concerts. And,
Eric Church.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you got all
Church
that stuff going on. And, maybe Draymond Green, who said, he'll forego a game. I don't know if he can do that right now with what's going on with them. He said he'll forego a game to go watch LeBron. And maybe we'll see James Harden leave a game. And, he's left games and gone out to Las Vegas and got it going and got it cracking and started making it rain. So maybe he'll shoot it and make it rain and have a little sighting of James Harden at the Final Four. You never know.
See Doc Rivers call out James Harden, basically blame the loss on him last night on James Harden, and also
over dribbling, doing what he do. You knew that,
he'll do that from time to time.
But Doc, you knew that,
When
don't act like you didn't know.
But at least he's calling him out. Do you like that move from Coach? From Doc as he's going into the playoffs around the corner. They haven't hit full stride, but you want your players to know, like, and James probably knows it. But some see it as a public shot. For what it's worth, he was defending the bench as part of it. They were asking about if the bench didn't play well enough. He basically said, it wasn't really the bench. It was James tonight that cost him. I don't know. I like the fact that he's holding Harden accountable, but it is awfully early in, they better have a good relationship because it's awfully early in the relationship.
It's really dangerous.
Yeah.
Because James is what I call Ralph Tresvant. He's a man with sensitivity.
Yes.
So, if you poke a man with sensitivity, he may go in a corner and kind of pout and cry and, you got to be careful about a man with sensitivity, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll take it personal as opposed to.
He'll go in a corner and eat. That's what he's doing.
and get quite chunky, right?
Yeah. Stop playing any sort of team ball.
And so what I saw in some of the last games is early on, you had a lot of success with Maxey.
Oh, yeah.
And how the flow was going, and Maxey was able to get it going. You saw a lot of that happening. What I saw was frustration out of Maxey and some of the others. And therefore, you get to a point where the bench don't know what to do. They don't know when the ball's coming. You're setting them up, James Harden. You're holding the ball so long, it's 4 seconds on the clock. Here, now you get it and expect them. That's what was happening a lot. And there was a lot of frustration I could see. If it gets too hard to Maxey, trouble for the 76ers, trouble.
Do you think that
because he's really that linchpin?
Yeah.
Embiid's going to do what he's going to do. Harden's going to. You need that third guy. You need that. And if Maxey gets frustrated, it's going to be trouble.
Do you believe it at all? I know you kind of like the conspiracy theories as well. Yes. Do you think the 76ers actually lost to Detroit, giving it their whole go? Or do you think that they might be looking at the standings and doing their best to avoid the Nets?
Listen, anybody, I think, if you're a smart person, I would try to avoid the Nets at all costs.
Yes.
I'm just saying, look, not avoid them. I ain't scared of them.
Right.
But you don't want to come into the first round.
Yeah.
First round of a game, you don't want that smoke. I don't think you want that because I think Kyrie's a different animal. I think KD's a different animal. They took a tough one. I mean, listen, it came down to it this last game they just had. It was them against who was that? Just last night. I can't remember exactly who it was, but it came down. Oh, Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
It was a tough.
Oh, yeah.
Listen. Giannis is a different animal right now.
People are throwing because of that night last night that he had. People are saying maybe he just took the MVP.
Yeah, listen, watch that man. Here come that man, they would say. That man is doing some remarkable things right now. And what I love about it is I talked about this a couple of years ago. I said, if Giannis Antetokounmpo develops an expanded game, he's going to be a problem. And now you're seeing him step back threes. Giannis is going to be a problem for a lot of years to come if that game continues to expand like that because you can't stop him. He's every bit as good downhill as LeBron James.
Oh, yeah.
He can do all the stuff he can do, but if he expands that jumper, he's going to be trouble.
Yeah, we've been waiting to see that jumper come along, and they've been pretty successful with it not coming along either way. So that could really spell danger for the rest of the crowd. We are live at the Mercado once again here on the block.
Come holler at us.
Come talk to us. Strick said he'd sign an autograph for you. We've already taken a picture with a fan. So all that stuff going on. We're at 84th and Havelock until 6. Also until 6, you can get that deal. Buy one, get one free on Steakhouse Burger Patties. When we come back, it will be your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Because we're live on location, we're not going to do a competition there for you. We'll just have let's do with caller number 3 right now, 402-464-5685. But we'll still have a bit of a game show for Strick as he attempts to name the most outstanding players from the Final Four's past since the year 2000. I'm going to make sure he doesn't start Googling.
I'm for the people.
Yeah, he's always playing for the people, though. And he's out here live at the Mercado. We'll be out here till 6, and we'll be right back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In baseball on Thursday, Lincoln Christian beat Fairbury 5-2 in the 9th inning. Tyson Workman had a 2-run triple deep in the 9th to give the Crusaders the lead. Lincoln East went over Kearney 12-2, and Lincoln Southwest just got by Norfolk in a high-scoring game 17-16. Kyle Newell had the walk-off single in the 9th to win. Waverly beat Blair 7-4. James Van Cleve from the mound had 10 strikeouts and only gave up 1 run for Waverly. In girls soccer, Lincoln East shut out Norfolk 8-0. Kayma Carpenter had 4 goals for the Spartans. Omaha Central won over Lincoln High by 2 goals. And in boys soccer, Lincoln East beat Norfolk 5-1. Lincoln Northeast won over Fremont 3-1. Lincoln Pius X got past Omaha Burke 4-2. Morgan Armagos led the Bolts with a goal and an assist. And Lincoln Southwest won over Columbus 1-0. Leighton Jepson had the only goal of the game for the win. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Increasing cloud cover expected by later this afternoon, and we should see some scattered rain showers move in by late in the day. We'll top out near 64 southeast winds, 15 to 25. A lingering chance of showers early tonight, then clearing with a low of 34. A beautiful Saturday on the way, mostly sunny with a high of 62. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Southeast Community College is training tomorrow's workforce today with our nearly 60 career and technical programs. We are doing our part to help employers fill vacancies during this current labor shortage, graduating students with skill sets employers are seeking. We're also helping to upskill the workforce by adding short-term credentials like certificates in many programs so that employees can get retraining quickly. Learn more about upskilling with SCC at southeast.edu/academics. SCC, your path to possible.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
The voice of Husker softball, Nate Rohr.
Rhonda Revelle, especially when she has a good power hitter like Billy Andrews, she tends to hit him a little higher in the lineup. And we saw this some last year with Tristan Edwards. Teams were so locked in on pitching around her. Rhonda Revelle said, okay, well, if you're going to pitch around her, then you're going to start that first inning, beat off base runner. And also, Billy Andrews is a great athlete.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Work, laundry, dishes. I was exhausted. I needed a vacation, but finding a way to pay for it, not so easy. Then I found it, a research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. It was so easy. I earned cash for the study and booked that vacation. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
Dealing with battery problems? America's #1 battery destination is here to help. At AutoZone, we've got the free services to help you start even stronger in those colder temperatures, like our free battery testing and battery charging. If you're having starting troubles, come into AutoZone. We'll test and charge your battery for free so you can drive with peace of mind in the wintertime. Getting the job done just got easier. Visit your nearest AutoZone today to learn more. Based on data from the NPD Group Incorporated, car care track 12 months ending December 2018.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. iElectric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. iElectric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
Are you one of those people who thinks it's okay to drive stoned? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You end up driving below the speed limit? It's no big deal, right? Wrong. The truth is, your reaction times slow way down when you're high. You not only put yourself in danger, but everyone around you. Talk about a buzzkill. Stop kidding yourself. It's not okay to drive high. If you've been using marijuana in any form, do not get behind the wheel. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
When everything is changing, you need a store that's a constant. A store that has the brands your family loves and the value that you need. A store where you can stock up, pick up, and drive up. A store that's close to home and feels like home. A store that puts the health and safety of you and your family above all else. And a store that's always here to help. At Kohl's, we don't know what next year will look like. We just know that we'll be here for you no matter what. Kohl's, here today, here to stay. See store or Kohls.com for details.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
It is time for our game show. Today, we're not going to play it with you on air. I believe we already have a winner for the $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings as we went out of the break asking for caller number 3. Nate, did we get a winner? Just to double check that we don't need caller number 3 now.
Yes, we did, gentlemen. Yes, we did.
Oh, we did get a winner. That's what we'd like to hear. But we're still going to play a game, a little bit of a battle between the Ticket Water Cooler here and On the Block. Nate already played this game. You just heard his voice. Representing the Ticket Water Cooler, and he had 14 points. So, Strick, I'm going to run through this with you as well, see if you can do any better than 14 points. And I don't know what the winner's going to get. Maybe maybe the rest of this meat package that was given out to me here. I don't want to give it away, though. So we'll have to find something a little bit better because I'm going to keep that one. As again, we're live out at the Mercato at 84th and Havelock. So let's see if we can get these points here. We're going to go from the year 2000 all the way up until 2021, the final 4 most outstanding player. So here we go with it. In the year 2000, Michigan State beat Florida. Was it Mateen Cleaves or Maurice Peterson that won the most outstanding player?
Mateen Cleaves.
That is correct. 1 point already on the board. 2001, Duke beat Arizona. Was Jay Williams or Shane Battier the final 4 most outstanding player?
Shane Battier.
That is number 2 for you. You haven't missed yet. Maryland over Indiana in 2002. Was it Juan Dixon or Steve Blake?
Steve Blake.
It was actually Juan Dayson. That's a tough one. I think that got Nate too. So no longer perfect. Let's go to 2003 when Syracuse beat Kansas. Did Jerry McNamara or Carmelo Anthony win the Final Four Most Outstanding Player?
Carmelo Anthony.
That is correct. In 2004, Connecticut beat Georgia Tech. Did Ben Gordon or Emeka Okafor win the award?
Ben Gordon.
It was actually Emeka Okafor that year. 2005, we go to North Carolina beating Illinois. The Final Four Most Outstanding Player, was it Sean May or Rashad McCants?
McCants.
It was actually Sean May, who's now on the bench for North Carolina. You can see him if you look down there. 2006, Florida beat UCLA. Did Joakim Noah or Hal Horford take home the award?
Noah.
That's correct. It was Noah. And then Florida repeating as champ, this time over Ohio State. That was that Mike Conley and Greg Oden team. That was kind of fun. Anyway, Florida got the win. The Final Four most outstanding player. Did Joakim Noah repeat, or was it Corey Brewer that took it home this time?
Brewer.
It was Corey Brewer that time. 2008, Kansas beat Memphis in one of the best championship games of all time. Mario Chalmers hit the big shot, but did he take away the Final Four most outstanding player, or did Brandon Rush get it that year?
He did.
Mario Chalmers?
Yep.
Mario Chalmers did. 2009, Psycho T led North Carolina over Michigan State for the year. Did he take home the award, or did Wayne Ellington shoot his way into the award?
Say it again.
Psycho T, Tyler Hansbrough, or Wayne Ellington? Who won the finals for most outstanding player that year that North Carolina beat Michigan State? Wayne Ellington actually took a surprise there. 2010, Duke beat Butler in a heck of a game. Of course, the half-court shot from Gordon Hayward did not fall, but it ended up being Kyle Singler or John Shire who took home the award.
Singler.
It was Singler. In 2011, Connecticut beat Butler, who got there once again. Shout out to the current Celtics GM there. Yeah, I don't have to go any further. You know, Kim, I didn't even have to say any further there. Jeremy Lamb wasn't going to trick you. All right. Let's go to 2012. 2012, Kentucky beat Kansas. Anthony Davis or Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Final Four most outstanding
Davis.
player. It was Davis. You're up to 9 points now, so remember, you got to get to 14 here. 2013, Louisville beat Michigan. There is now an asterisk next to that title, but at the time, they still won it. Did Peyton Seaver or Luke Hancock take home the most outstanding player?
Seaver.
It was actually Luke Hancock. In 2014, UConn beat Kentucky. Was Shabazz Napier or Ryan Boatwright the Final Four most outstanding player?
Napier.
It was Napier. In 2015, it was Duke over Wisconsin. The Final Four most outstanding player, was it Jahlil Okafor or Tyus Jones?
Okafor.
It was actually Tyus Jones.
No.
2016, one of the best championship games of all time. Villanova defeated North Carolina on a last-second shot from Chris Jenkins. However, Chris Jenkins did not put up enough stats to win the Final Four most outstanding player. Was it Ryan Arcidiacono or Josh Hart that did that for the Wildcats?
Hart.
It was actually Arcidiacono. So in order to tie, you've got to get these last four correct. I don't have a tiebreaker, so we'll see what happens here. 2017, North Carolina beat Gonzaga. Was it Joel Berry or Luke May as the Final Four most outstanding player?
May.
It was actually Joel Berry. Therefore, the winner is Nate back in studio. So, Nate, as always, we give you a chance to talk some trash on Strick if you want to, or take the high road. What do you think, Nate?
I'm probably not going to take the high road, but I'm trying to find Bach. Which page is the one where it's the where
we don't know where it's at.
Is that? No,
we don't know where it's at.
I can't find it.
The B part, yeah, that might be kind of hard to find.
Let's move on. We got to take a break now.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on
going
the block.
over it.
Hey, I will say though, Strick, before I competed, I did say that you were going to beat me, so you got to at least give me my due. I played well. I got 14 right, so pretty proud of myself.
Due. That is actually an awesome number. You're very good at taking the ACT and the SET. I mean, the SAT and the ACT.
There you go.
I actually never took the ACT, but I did take the SAT.
You would have been good. You would have just picked C the whole time, and you would have got all the answers.
Hey, it would have worked out pretty well, huh?
We learned earlier today that Nate got a scholarship offer from Butler, so that's pretty good.
Not for basketball.
Not for basketball, though. Just to go there. For what it's worth, too, one last stat before we get out of here. As I was looking up, you may have heard a lot of Villanova, North Carolina, Duke, and Kansas as I was running that off since the year 2000. But a little bit of an interesting stat. Since Kansas' last championship in 2000, in 2008, when Mario Chalmers hit that shot over Derrick Rose and the Memphis team, The other three teams in the Final Four, Villanova, North Carolina, and Duke, all have 2 titles each since Kansas last got their one. So if you're looking for a team that's due, I suppose, in the Final Four, it would be the Jayhawks. We're going to take quick. Oh, there it is. Oh, my goodness. That came out of nowhere. Okay. We are live here at the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. Come on down. 1 hour left to get this deal. Buy one, get one free on steakhouse burger patties. Enough of you guys have already shown up here that they're restocking, but they still got enough. Come on out here. Buy one, get one free on steakhouse burger patties. We're at live from the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock for 1 more hour. We'll be right back here on the block.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there.
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch.
Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the Jed Foundation.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Increasing cloud cover expected by later this afternoon, and we should see some scattered rain showers move in by late in the day. We'll top out near 64 southeast winds, 15 to 25. A lingering chance of showers early tonight, then clearing with a low of 34. A beautiful Saturday on the way, mostly sunny with a high of 62. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercato offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercato serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercato today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Cynthia and Ed.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, out of the blue, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn or just stay at the stop sign. She wasn't even really sure where she was at. She was very concerned. It was very unsettling for her.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it, to bring the family in on it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Did you know your air ducts can hold up to 17 pounds of dirt, dust, pet dander, and so much more? John Henry's is here to help make the air you breathe cleaner with a duct cleaning. If you've never had your ducts cleaned, now is the best time, especially if you have pets, someone in the home with allergies or asthma, or you've ever done a renovation. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And things have obviously been pretty challenging lately with new vehicles, with all the microchip and supply chain issues, but things continue to loosen up as Koppel gets more and more new vehicles in each and every week. We've had many customers also custom order their vehicles. So if you don't see what you want in our current inventory, we can put an order in to get exactly what you want. So go online, reserve your new vehicle at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Today on Hey Culligan, unnecessary contaminants. Here's the referee.
Hey Culligan, that's a flag on my water for flagrant foul taste.
Ooh, that's a tough one, ref, but the solution is a Culligan Smart RO drinking water system that reduces up to 58 contaminants, making your water safer and delicious.
Yeah, I guess I missed that call.
And with the Culligan Connect app, you always know when your filters need changing.
The water's up and it's good.
Good call, ref, and we're already on the way.
Try a Culligan water softener for just $9.95 per month. Go to CulliganLincoln.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. You're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
93.7 The Ticket veteran and Creed stan Jake Bakoven.
I love that band, Creed.
Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach.
Hold up.
On the Block is brought to you by the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese every day that we do the show, but especially today because we're live on location at 84th and Havelock. We got a heck of a deal. Buy one, get one free on steakhouse burger patties. You got less than an hour to get that deal. It runs up when this show ends, so you're going to want to make it out here. We've already had several fans come out here and get a hold of this deal. So much that they're restocking. So we'd like to see them restock one more time. Please get out here. And I don't say please on my behalf. I'm saying please on your behalf. You'll definitely appreciate it. We're being sent home with some nice gifts as well, so I can't wait to get on the grill this weekend. Maybe for the Final Four, maybe for WrestleMania. You're probably not too big of a wrestling fan, but if you ever had a teammate that you thought could make a good wrestler, who do you think that would be? Maybe one of your bigger teammates or just somebody with a lot of charisma? Is that? I'll give you a second to kind of think about that because I know that I just kind of threw that at you. But usually I do the thing where
a teammate,
yeah,
college or NBA,
either one.
Gary Trent.
Gary Trent was a guy, huh? A
Gary
personality,
Trent.
Maybe.
There's no question. He had the bulk. He was very diesel.
Oh yeah,
and we actually played Gary Trent when we were here in at the University of Nebraska. You know, because Danny Nee, of course, coached at Ohio. Gary played at Ohio. And so, of course, with the relationship, they scheduled the game, and Gary and his group came down, and we played him.
Oh, that's pretty cool, yeah. And his son's not doing too bad these days either.
Got a big contract.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. And deserved it. That guy's a baller.
He did deserve it. Oh, yeah. He absolutely deserved it. And it was so much so that Portland couldn't keep him.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously – Toronto was able to pull the trigger and get it done,
and Portland's
but it's still. I don't even want to talk about Toronto because Toronto is Looney Tunes right now with what they got going on. So,
well, they're just trying to keep some playoff advantage. I don't think they're going to win a series unless they can keep some people out. So maybe that's the deal of the country altogether is to try to get the Raptors into the second round of the playoffs. But of course, I'm joking there. But it's very kind of fun. I like to get into WrestleMania weekend. Usually we get into the discussion too around this time of who was your
favorite guy? Who is of all the rest? Give me three. Give me your top three favorite wrestle guys.
My favorite wrestlers probably would be, I liked Mankind back in the day. He used to bum around with Stone Cold and what's his name, and The Rock. You know, those obviously would be good ones. Ric Flair is hard
Ric
to
Flair's
go past.
one of mine.
Ric Flair, yeah. Woo! There we did at the same time. That you can't go too bad there. Who else would I say? I mentioned him because he recently passed away the other day. Scott Hall would be up there, but honestly, I'd probably go with Triple H. Triple H, who just retired from in-ring competition.
Yeah.
Obviously, we used his entrance for shootout with Strick. He was just always a bad guy. He'd bring a sledgehammer to the ring and use it to get a win. I like those guys that cheat to win. I think Ric Flair and Triple H did that pretty well.
So Ric Flair was one for me. You just gotta love him, right?
Just the charisma.
I like Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Oh yeah.
I really just
from the top, from the
turnbuckle. And then I liked I want to say Superfly, Ric Flair, and what's my guy's name? Tony. Well, you don't remember him. Let's not say him. Let's go a little bit more newer. Maybe John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena.
Only because he would get in your face and you can't see me. Maybe John Cena.
Super
just because
Cena,
I like their little antics. You know?
Yeah. And they the WWE staff.
Oh no, you know what?
The Rocket
Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
that's who it was.
Out there grabbing the grabbing the ropes. That'd be a pretty good one. Let us know your favorite ones here on the text line 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line. We've already got votes in for The Rock. Kane is always a good one.
Kane.
Mayor now in Tennessee, so
get out.
That's kind of weird. Jeff Hardy is another one. The Hardy brothers.
The Hardy boys.
Someone mentioned Superfly Jimmy Snuka there. Goldberg. Off the text line as well.
Wow.
That'd be a good one. Yeah,
Okay.
he had a good entrance. Depressed Tim Miles fan says this is the first time you two have met in person. Well, no, we've met before. We've done some post games before. He says Strick, is Bach everything you thought he would be, or is he a disappointment in any way? I think he's playing with the old role reversal there. But hopefully I'm not too disappointing.
Bach has been probably the best partner I probably could have ran up against, and it just flows. It flows so effortlessly. I enjoy working with him. We have good conversations and we feed off of each other. So I absolutely love working with him.
I do appreciate that. So I'm not too much of a disappointment. That's good news. Tom says Rikishi. That's another one.
Ooh,
Rikishi. He didn't want to get caught in the corner with Rikishi.
Not with Rikishi when he hit you with the thumb, right?
Oh no, he has the stink face. He's got his butt. Which
he sticks to. That's right. Who was the one that hit you with the thumb?
There's a few guys that would do that.
He would do
I'm not sure.
He would stick the thumb in you.
Oh, in your mouth. Yeah, I do remember that.
Oh, I can't remember.
I think that's Mankind.
Was that Mankind?
Yeah. That's what he would do. Someone else says Sting. Corey says Sting, and I think Sting was born in Omaha, which is kind of cool.
I actually like Sting.
All y'all's daddy's making a joke. He says Will Smith, who's recently tried out for
Sting used to do the thing with the like the camel clutch thing, or with the where you lean back on the. He makes your feet. He crosses your feet. He turns you over.
Oh yeah.
And then he did like pulls your legs.
Oh yeah,
back.
pulls on your legs.
Wasn't that
a
him?
submission? Yeah, I could see that. Somebody says Doink the Clown. Yeah, there's some characters that are out there, so that's kind of funny. Waterboy says Umaga, so you're thinking of maybe with the
Umaga.
Yeah,
he put that thumb in your neck, and you would just man, you would be done.
There's a lot of good ones, so I'm looking forward to
Thanks, guys, for
Weekend.
tapping in on
thanks
that.
for joining in. Yeah.
Brought memories back.
The only other wrestling thing that I could play off here is, have you ever thought about, and certainly when you were in baseball, maybe you already had the plan, but the walk-up music. Would you have a perfect walk-up music ready? It's always such
that's
a tough
hard.
One. It's always tough at the top of your head because you kind of think about songs that would definitely work, and then when you're asked on the spot, it's like, because I go through that all the time whenever anybody.
What was this one's? The Junkyard Dog.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Junkyard
was that
Dog.
Corey? Who
Yeah,
gave us that?
Claytonia John gave us Junkyard Dog. Yeah, something that strikes the fear in your opponents. I like that. Corey also says maybe Diamond Dallas Page. That'd be a pretty good one too. Yeah, so you can keep those in if you want to bring them in. I've never been able to.
I have been to a WrestleMania. I haven't been to one of the big ones, but I actually been to a wrestling event.
Yeah,
and they're pretty fun.
Kind of
I'm
fun
just glad
entertainment.
They didn't call me in and beat me up or slam me on the table and jump on me or nothing like that. So I was glad I didn't. You don't want to get too involved there. Those guys are trade professionals. And it is kind of funny too, because when there are fans
that get out of hand and very rarely will go in the ring or do something. And the wrestlers, like I don't think they'll get in any trouble for doing whatever they do to you, and they usually wail on them. So don't ever do that. As we brought up Will Smith,
enter the ring at your own risk.
That's right. So that's a lot of fun. But I also wanted to get to this question for you guys off the text line too, 424645685. It's a bit of a grim outlook, I suppose, but there is not. Nebraska is obviously in a position with football and basketball where they have 1 year to prove it, and both of them are up against it records-wise. As far as historically, if you're this deep in and you don't have, you have the records that these guys have, it's not going to turn around. Which program do you have more faith in that if I say 3 years from now, you're going to see Coach Scott Frost in Memorial Stadium, or 3 years from now, you're going to see obviously Fred Hoiberg at Pinnacle Bank Arena? And we'll start with you, Strick. If I give you the odds, and I'm not saying you could take, I guess you could also throw out there, wouldn't think I'd see either of them, but who do you have more faith that in 2025 we're sitting here at the Mercato talking about the upcoming season for Scott Frost or Fred Hoiberg at Nebraska?
I plead the fifth. I to be all honest, I think from what I see right now, and I would like to see more of, the Nebraska players. Just in a hypothetical, I would probably say Scott has the best.
Has the leaning toward it, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think that they've certainly got an opportunity. A lot of people maybe had given up or were close to giving up on Frost, but the offseason hires really do make a big deal, especially an offensive coordinator and wide receiver primarily. And then you're hearing good things out of camp about the offensive line. I'm always a little bit hesitant to get too excited about things I'm hearing out of camp, particularly about the offensive line, because I've heard with every new offensive line coach coming in that this is the guy that will turn into the pipeline. But I think it's fascinating to kind of look into that. I think that right now I would probably agree with you. If not more than anything else, is that and it might change here in the next couple days, I suppose, if Hoiberg can put it together. But we just have more of an idea of what Frost is going to bring to the table next year than what Hoiberg's going to bring to the table. So if you kind of can kind of visualize it and see it working here for Frost. At this point, it's kind of hard to do with Hoiberg without knowing who's going to be kind of their centerpieces moving forward. Maybe it is all in Blaze Keita and Ramel Lloyd in the upcoming class, but it would be that I don't know. I think that's probably what it's going to be more than anything. I don't know what else it could be centered around. Obviously, Derek Walker coming back, maybe if Trey McGowan comes back, but even still. I think that you probably.
I would be more if I knew Bryce.
Yeah, if Bryce came back,
if I knew Bryce, I would be a little bit more.
Yeah,
in on that.
Yeah, so it's interesting discussion. It's interesting to kind of think about, and maybe we'll revisit it again once Fred Hoiberg kind of puts it together, because it to me. I hate to say it, but I think we all kind of know what situation we're in. Nebraska would go from basically one of the most unluckiest teams of all time to one of the luckiest teams of all time. If universities, I suppose, if they just went from what has been to a successful outlook for both of them. So right. I don't necessarily envision both of them probably making it through this next season. But it's always possible that they do and
pull a rabbit out of
both of them. It's possible. But
are they David Copperfield?
Yeah, that's basically what we're asking here, is because it goes up against a lot of data, a lot of statistics throughout the course of history, both in college basketball and college football, to get these things turned around. We're just praying that one of them does. And there's certainly a possibility that neither of them do, that Trev Alberts is out there hunting for his next guys here in the next year. And that'd be a big, a lot to ask, but it is what it is. Things have not gone well for Trev as far as on the field. And I don't, you can't blame him too much for it. But it's going to be an interesting next couple of well, I shouldn't say next couple of months, but at least in the calendar year, to see what we're talking about, this time next year. because very well could have a change there for one of those sports. This is the On the Block, actually. I almost said the Ticket Water Cooler. That's been gone and passed. This is On the Block here, live from the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. I'm Jake Balkovin. He is the Husker Hall of Famer, longtime NBA vet, Eric Strickland. If you want to come out here, get an autograph, get a picture taken with him, we'll be out here till 6. Once again, you can also get the buy one, get one free on Steakhouse Burger Patties until 6 as well. I did want to mention this too because I thought this was kind of funny. We do go through these springs and there's different things to ask coaches about, but sometimes the coaches get the same questions all the time.
Yeah.
Kirby Smart was asked, of course, Georgia's head coach, championship winning head coach. And now that he's won that championship, he probably feels a little bit more comfortable down there in Athens. He was asked what he sees from his what he wants to see from his quarterback in Saturday's scrimmage. He said, you can come here for 10 years from now and it's going to be the same thing that it was last year. Decision-making, accuracy, leadership, and intangibles. Some of those questions just don't change.
Just straight to the point.
Yeah.
This is how we win at Georgia. With the Georgia football team, that's basically it. Georgia has an identity. When you go to the University of Georgia to be a Bulldog, they have an identity. We are a defense. We're going to stop you. We're going to get in the trenches and we're going to beat you up. We're going to get to the ball. We're going to be all over this field defensively, and we're going to shut you down. Offense, their job is to just take care of the ball, move the ball, allow our guys to get rest, put points on the board, whether it's field goals or touchdowns. And I would venture to say, if you have 6 possessions, let's say 7 possessions, they want them to score at least 3 to 4 of those possessions, probably with 2 touchdowns and at least a field goal, to feel confident and move the ball in those other possessions. Not necessarily you have to score, but if they move the ball, that's pretty much if you just go look at the history of Georgia, that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
So
a lot of great running backs have been through there. So not just the defense, but using that running game to burn
clock and to break you down and to just to waste that time to allow the defense to get time. So that's uniquely different. Now, Alabama takes a balanced approach. They're like, we're going to smoke and gun you. We got a guy that wants to take care of the ball, but we're going to stretch you. We're going to have a couple guys that are get over the top of you, and then we're going to have some other guys that will be able to run great routes, and we're going to move this ball also in the run game, i.e. you have Derrick Henry, i.e. You have those type of bruiser running backs. That's what they usually bring in. Ingram, all these bruiser type running backs. So we're going to push it down your throat. We're going to get over the top of you with a lot of play action. We're going to take care of the ball, but then we're going to stifle you defensively. That's identity. That's what we didn't see from Nebraska. We don't freaking know in any of the sports right now what their identity, other than volleyball, know, in volleyball, what their identity is.
They've for what it's worth, that's part of the going back to the question that I presented to you earlier about, who you had more faith to be here in 3 years. You're in a prove it year for both of them, basically for the next second straight season. But you're also in basically plan B mode for these guys. I mean, it's frustrating, but it is what it is that these guys did have a plan for their identity. They had an idea of what was going to work in the Big Ten, and it hasn't. And now, whether you're talking about, Scott Frost and all the different offensive assistants that they're having to go to now, and with Coach Hoiberg too, is that they're moving on from Abdelmassi. So it's Plan B. It's a different. You can make Plan B jokes.
It's Plan B right here for Stricky. Some wine.
That's a Plan B. But also just it's basically the first go round didn't work. So now you're hoping that they can get it done with a different approach. And we'll still see if Hoiberg has a different approach to shooting the ball as much, or what they're going to do there. Right. They're definitely going to need to put a roster together to believe that they can do run that system again. And there's still questions. I don't know. I'm not saying he's completely going to run a different system. After all, this is what has got him here. But at the same time, Matt Abdelmassi has been his right-hand man and friend for a long time, both at Nebraska and Iowa State. So that's just kind of where we are. Is that Plan A didn't work. They're giving them an extra chance to give it another go around. But this isn't their best strength for what it's worth. This isn't what got them the job.
The hire, exactly. The hire is what I think can also help, right? Then you can be able to track his recruiting history. You'll be able to track kind of what he's brought to the table whoever he is and wherever he's been. What he could bring to the table as far as his, acumen for the game. Those are some of the things that you can track, but not knowing is still a lot of uncertainty. One of your best defensive guys that in Doc Sadler, he's gone. And then, your other guy with your recruiting abilities, he's gone. So you just don't know what that next mode is, because we really don't know what Armand Gates and the other
still
guys
could be other staff shake.
You know what I mean?
Well.
So we just don't know.
Yeah, so that's
a lot of uncertainty.
It's interesting to see how that plays out. Again, the college basketball season is not over. Final Four this weekend. Very excited for that. We're going to take a quick break here, but we are live from the Mercato. You got about half an hour to get out here and get the buy one get one deal on a steakhouse burger patties. Buy one get one free steakhouse burger patties. We're live from the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about Bruce Arians and the movement there with Tampa Bay. Also, it is April Fool's Day. Which April Fool's joke got us online? I'll admit, one of them did get me today. So we'll talk about that next here on The Block on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In baseball on Thursday, Lincoln Christian beat Fairbury 5-2 in the ninth inning. Tyson Workman had a 2-run triple deep in the ninth to give the Crusaders the lead. Lincoln East went over Kearney 12-2, and Lincoln Southwest just got by Norfolk in a high-scoring game 17-16. Kyle Newell had the walk-off single in the ninth to win. Waverly beat Blair 7-4. James Van Cleve from the mound had 10 strikeouts and only gave up 1 run for Waverly. In girls soccer, Lincoln East shut out Norfolk 8-0. Kama Carpenter had 4 goals for the Spartans. Omaha Central won over Lincoln High by 2 goals. And in boys soccer, Lincoln East beat Norfolk 5-1. Lincoln Northeast won over Fremont 3-1. Lincoln Pice 10th got past Omaha Burke 4-2. Morgan Armagos led the Bolts with a goal and an assist. And Lincoln Southwest won over Columbus 1-0. Leighton Jepson had the only goal of the game for the win. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Old School with DP and J.
And I learned this about the difference between the college game and the NFL. Every play is designed offensively and defensively for one guy to make a mistake, whether it's being out of your gap, forgetting the blitz, forgetting a check on offense, forgetting the snap count. In college, it might be explosive play, 15 yards, whatever you deem as explosive play. The pros,
all of them are house.
All of them are. The guy will hit his head on the goalpost.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Are you one of those people who thinks it's okay to drive stoned? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You end up driving below the speed limit? It's no big deal, right? Wrong. The truth is, your reaction times slow way down when you're high. You not only put yourself in danger, but everyone around you. Talk about a buzzkill. Stop kidding yourself. It's not okay to drive high. If you've been using marijuana in any form, do not get behind the wheel. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
When everything is changing, you need a store that's a constant. A store that has the brands your family loves and the value that you need. A store where you can stock up, pick up, and drive up. A store that's close to home and feels like home. A store that puts the health and safety of you and your family above all else. And a store that's always here to help. At Kohl's, we don't know what next year will look like. We just know that we'll be here for you no matter what. Kohl's, here today, here to stay. See store or Kohls.com for details.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding.
Whoa!
Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Why do I like Blue Bloods? Here's why. If you're successful over time, that's the true test. And in my lifetime, North Carolina basketball, Kansas basketball, Duke basketball in my lifetime has almost always been good. I mean, all three of them. I mean, it's reliable, and they should be good because they put so much energy into it.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Increasing cloud cover expected by later this afternoon, and we should see some scattered rain showers move in by late in the day. We'll top out near 64 southeast winds, 15 to 25. A lingering chance of showers early tonight, then clearing with a low of 34. A beautiful Saturday on the way, mostly sunny with a high of 62. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And things have obviously been pretty challenging lately with new vehicles, with all the microchip and supply chain issues, but things continue to loosen up as Koppel gets more and more new vehicles in each and every week. We've had many customers also custom order their vehicles. So if you don't see what you want in our current inventory, we can put an order in to get exactly what you want. So go online, reserve your new vehicle at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Final Four weekend, everybody out there. It is, I think it's officially there. It's 5:30. That means Final Four weekend is upon us. Great game set for tomorrow, of course, between Kansas and Villanova, and more importantly, North Carolina and Duke. So it's one of my favorite weekends. Can't wait for it. We are live here at the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese for another half an hour, and then the deal ends. We got some customers in the Mercato right now getting the buy one, get one free on Steakhouse Burger Patties deal. Again, that deal ends at 6 when our show ends. So make it out here if you're by the area, or, it's Lincoln. It really usually doesn't take you more than half an hour to get across town. But maybe we'll hold the door open for you at 6:05 or so if you run on in. No, I'm not gonna actually promise that. I'll probably try to get out of here because it's the weekend, and who doesn't like the weekend? Happy weekend to everybody out there. I'm Jake Bakoven. He is Eric Strickland, and Strick's got some gifts out here. Got a nice glass of wine.
People come down and say what's up, holler. Listen, I have Milwaukee Bucks fans with jerseys on, so it's been good, man, to shake hands and say hello. Got some good wine from some wonderful local wineries here, man. This has been a great time. I'm glad to be back. The Mercado's treated us wonderful with Certified Piedmontese. Listen, this has been a great time right here on the block. Thank you guys once again for supporting and joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's always good to have Strick in town and here for these appearances. Nobody's asked me to sign anything yet, which is maybe I'm a little bit surprised, but you've got a few signatures in here. Let's get into some interesting news today from well, I guess it was from yesterday for the Tampa Bay Bucks. I want to call them the world champion Tampa Bay Bucks, but I guess that's been replaced now. The Rams are the world champions. But still, Bruce Arians has been a world champion. He decided to step down in the Buccaneers organization. Maybe it's considering stepping up. I don't know what it is. He's taking a front office job instead of being the head coach. He's a guy that got into the head coaching business there with the Colts. And then, he was an offensive coordinator there. I think he might have been an interim coach there for a second. And then with the Cardinals as well. Pretty late, though. I mean, I think he's getting near 70. So maybe that's why he would step down. He's a guy that's, he's going to give you his feelings. He's going to give you his thoughts. He doesn't hold too much back. And that's what I like about Bruce Arians. But for some people, they thought because of that, maybe just the way he comes off, maybe, just trying to read in between the lines, the Tom Brady retirement, unretirement thing, that this might be a Tom Brady move. Now, the reports are out there that this has nothing to do with that. Obviously, Bruce Arians wants to make it be known that this is his decision. Todd Bowles, by the way, former coach out there with the Jets, is taking over. He's been a successful defensive coordinator there with the Bucs the last several years. But do you buy that? Do you believe that Bruce Arians, him stepping down right now, has nothing to do with Tom Brady and Tom Brady coming back? It would be the reason why I completely buy it is that I don't know why Todd Bowles would necessarily be, I guess, buddy with Tom Brady for him to get the job over Bruce Arians.
That's a great point. Yeah, we don't know what goes on in the back rooms and what those discussions are. I mean, you would probably say more Byron Leftwich has a better relationship with Tom Brady because they do a lot of scheming together. Todd Bowles, I don't know. He hasn't had great success in the times and the tenures that he had.
Yeah. Not overall in New York, but he did win 10 games once there. That's hard to do with the Jets.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting. I thought I was getting punked when it happened, but obviously
early April Fool's Day joke.
I thought it was an early punking, but we don't know. But I can just say when rumors are thrown out there about Miami and all these other things are thrown out there, and then all of a sudden Bruce Arians just drops out. That's something that's interesting. It's something. You can't just tell me it just, hey, I'm I mean, you could have, he would have been better off coming to me and saying, or coming to the world and to the media or to the organization and saying, you know what, my health is in question. I feel
health scare.
I feel that it's just time, the stress, everything that goes with the season. I really think it's just time for me to bow. I would have been better hearing that than just the way that it kind of went down. That tells me that there's something.
Because it's very strange timing. Again, if you look into it, maybe it doesn't make sense. But if you step back for a second, you think, okay, Tom Brady retires, and then when he comes back, then Bruce Arians retires. That makes you believe maybe if there was a rift there, Tom Brady didn't want to play for Bruce Arians. Maybe was told that, okay, well then we'll make that happen so that you can come back. Maybe that's the case. I have a hard time buying it. They seem to be in good spirits. Whenever I've seen them together, so I don't know. It is kind of weird, and it's just the timing is weird. It's like, why wait until now, Bruce? Until you literally waited till Tom Brady's retirement happened and then ended and came back before you decided. It's just it's weird, weird trying to connect the dots there. Also in the news,
or it could be
could be something going on there. I need to get to our soundboard so I can get like some X-Files type of noise there, to help you out. At least play in the background as you're this is a constant theme for you. I think you don't believe everything.
Hey, listen, you just can't shoot everything out at me and just expect me to be like, okay.
I believe it. Yeah. You've lived long enough to see that's not necessarily the case.
Do that strictly. Accept everything.
Interesting other things going on today. Major League Baseball announced that umpires will now wear microphones and announce replay reviews to fans, similar to football. Go over to the sideline, or I guess at this.
What if they're mic'd up?
First base?
But hold on. What if they're mic'd up and the coach has been going in on them, and they're just under their breath, just going in back on this coach. But they're mic'd up.
Yeah, they forget about it.
So do they put that on the replay?
I don't know. I think it's kind of weird because
Yeah.
you kind of know that that's happening when you see this. I suppose when I'm doing it in radio here, but when they circle up around their head to let you know that the replay is happening. So I guess it's just helping the casual fan, I suppose, that doesn't know what's going on at that point in time. Because most of the times, if there's a play that you're like, that was close, and then they take 5 minutes to go off into the dugout, you understand what's going on. Plus, the PA announcer will announce it. So other than that, like the broadcast booth will take care of it if you're watching on TV. So I don't know how much it helps, but maybe it does. And maybe this is just for the casual.
You know
fan.
what it is, Bob?
What is it?
It's not that, Bob. It's
not anything like that.
No, I really think it's kind of like that thing like this. You have so many other entities. Okay, let me. I think this is the best way I can explain it. It's like you have a team and you're an owner, and everybody is making moves. Everybody is throwing somebody in the trade. Trades are happening. Deals are getting done. You're kind of stagnant with the same team. You're in 7th, 8th slot, so forth and so on. But teams above you are making moves. So
sounds like the Arizona
you got to
Cardinals
make a
is
move.
what you're telling me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's like, for me, it just seems like baseball is trying to just do something to make a move to just put the splash on it or something like that.
Yeah,
That's
at
what
least,
it seems like to
or
me.
maybe it's just because there is a whole lot of people that want more technology involved in the game of baseball. The traditionalists want to keep that out, whether you're talking about the K zone or anything like that. Some people want the human
They don't like
element
that
in
K
it.
zone because sometimes when them balls go outside the zone and
Oh
he
yeah,
pulls you,
oh yeah,
you're like, oh. But see, something they can't account for. What if somebody's got a mean turnover on that change up, or they got a slider that just breaks off the table. Sometimes that thing breaks off at that thing and it's outside the K zone. So I can't always say that the K zone
always trust
always
the robots.
So
I'm one of those guys that I'm all the way on robots. I'd love to see them replace the Alps and just get the K zone in there. But maybe this is what they're doing. It's just like, okay, here's a small toss somebody a little bit of something to say, hey, we're including technology in
That's what
baseball.
it
See,
is.
we have microphones now.
That's what it is. Buck, that's the way I view it. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and then hopefully, again, instead of doing the thing which I've been calling it for all instant replay, is why is it so important that the ultimate call happens from the guys on the field, have one referee in any sport, stay back in the studio and make the call so we don't spend 5 minutes with the same call, or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, however long it takes to just get the same call and the same end result. Those guys are using watching little tiny, rewinding, using I don't know, it still looks like early 2000s at best type of technology to watch on a tiny little replay screen.
Yeah.
We're better than that. We don't have to do that, but there are some people that just don't trust whoever's back in the booth, despite the fact that I don't know why that they would trust a guy in the field more than that. I just don't get it. Why not have an official referee sitting back at home with air conditioning, making sure these games move on quicker?
I would venture to say that I would like that. That's why it's going to be, I think a great test is going to see what happens with USFL, because they're implementing some of those types of things into the game that you just shared, and they're sharing those things into the game. And so we'll see how that goes. We'll get a firsthand knowledge.
Yeah.
I really think people are going to be piecing and parse-mailing from what leagues like that, those fringe type leagues. And we'll see.
Yeah,
I saw 3-on-3 today. They're bringing it to the Olympics now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I was watching this 3-on-3 major tournament, but it was a bunch of ex-college players from different conferences matched up together to play for the money.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I always like did you ever go to one of those Big Three games that
I have
one of those
not. This is the crazy thing about the Big Three. Every time it was coming into my city, I was on a plane somewhere.
Yeah.
So it was like, dang, and then I wasn't smart enough to just go and look at the whole schedule and say, okay, this day, let's not go out of town that time.
Yeah.
And it just literally would happen. Or I would be going from where I'm at to Dallas or something, they were just in Dallas, and they're leaving Dallas, and they're going to the place where I just left from.
Yeah,
it was crazy. That's
how about playing in the Big Three? Have you ever considered that?
Negative.
Not.
You want to know why?
Why?
Early on in the Big Three's history, a man by the name of White Chocolate.
Oh yeah.
402-464-5685 if you can tell me who White Chocolate is. And if you're the first person on the text line that tells me White Chocolate who he is, leave your information with 93.7 The Ticket on the Honda Lincoln hotline. I'll send you a signed picture. Okay. Or a what do they call it? Baseball card.
There you go.
So listen. Earlier when they first started, he was still in great shape. He still plays.
Oh yeah.
He tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
It was a reminder of me playing in a little just stay in shape league. Nothing crazy, waiting on a pick and roll. I go off the pick and roll, pop. I said, "Why you kick me?" He said, "I didn't kick you." And so I literally tore my Achilles.
Just to stay in shape league.
Stay in shape league.
Oh man.
And so that's when I said no bueno.
Strick, we have a caller. Tim is on the line. He says that he knows who White Chocolate is, so I'll go ahead and put him through now. Tim, how you doing?
Good.
Tim, what's going on?
He's Strick. What's up?
Nothing much, baby. You know who White Chocolate is?
White Chocolate, Jason Williams.
My
man. For Florida.
My man, that's exactly right.
Did he play for Florida in college?
He did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He had a great career there. So make sure. Thanks for calling in. He had major handles. He had major tricks in his bag. He was one of the ones. He was one of the ones that, if you go and watch his highlight tapes, I was just glad when I watched it that I wasn't in there.
Did you avoided him?
Because he got Gary Payton so good one time with a hesitation and crossover that Gary just looked like Casper the Friendly Ghost just flew by him. You got to look. If you got to go and watch that, but make sure you leave.
You think in his prime he had the best handles?
I don't want to. I can't say that was the best handles.
In his generation.
I can't say for sure because there was a guy, man, that Tim Hardaway had some killer handles back then. Rod Strickland had some, but they were before him. So you're saying in his generation. So he was just after me. So
AI.
You know what? Oh yeah. Well, but he's after AI. So he's saying in his time. So he was after AI because AI was with me. So you know what? You know what? You might have something. Listen. A man by the name of Jamal Crawford.
There you go, Jay Smooth.
Jay Crossover.
All right, well, hey guys, you guys take care and enjoy the show.
No, make sure you leave your information with. Is it Nate up there? Nate, is that you?
Yeah, we'll take care of him.
Yeah, Nate. Make sure you get his information. I will make sure to get him a signed autograph picture.
High school teammate, by the way, of Randy Moss. So imagine playing
crazy
against
in
them
West
high school.
Virginia.
Yeah. So that would be a difficult.
Crazy. And back then, Randy was banging on people too.
Oh yeah, I mean, he could have played. You think he could have made the NBA?
Or
at least been pretty good in
but he would have been good in college. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Allen Iverson was quite the football player too.
That's right.
That's right. Quarterback. He could have did anything.
Rajon Rondo is a good quarterback. That's my.
They say LeBron James could have been a tight end like Johnny Mitchell.
Oh yeah.
Just one of them types.
I would have loved to see.
He ran like a 4.4.
I bet. Were you fooled by LeBron today saying he's shutting down for the rest of the season on Instagram?
April Fools.
Were you fooled by Brad Davidson getting his 7th year from Wisconsin? That was another April Fools.
Oh, that might have got me.
That one almost got you. Julian Edelman joining Tampa. That one did get me for a while. I wrote that on the rundown for a minute.
The one that got me was Andrew Luck coming back because they had quarterback issues, saying that George was. That got me. That got me.
Yeah. Well, we were all fooled a little bit on April Fools, but I guess that's the fun of the day. At least we didn't report it on air. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back to round out the show with our daily NBA segment, Hitting the Hardwood. KD wants his jersey retired twice in 2 cities. I think he probably deserves it, but will his legacy ultimately be hinged on what happens in Brooklyn? We'll talk about that next. We're live at the Mercato at 84th and Havelock. Come on down. You got about 12 minutes now to get this deal. Buy one, get one free on Steakhouse Burger Patties. We'll be back on the block.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning. Now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
The Home Builders Association of Lincoln and Bombers Garage are proud to sponsor this year's Cruisin' for the Trades car show on May 1st. It's the first major car show of the season, and they have 20-plus big trophies for muscle cars, old cars, classics, trucks and bikes, EVs, and anything in between. Register your car today at hbal.org and enter into as many categories as you wish for the show at SCC's campus at 88th and O. Proceeds from the event go to the Lincoln Home Builders Care Foundation to support careers in construction. Register today at hbal.org. There's nothing quite like the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercato offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercato serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercato today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Did you know your air ducts can hold up to 17 pounds of dirt, dust, pet dander, and so much more? John Henry's is here to help make the air you breathe cleaner with a duct cleaning. If you've never had your ducts cleaned, now is the best time, especially if you have pets, someone in the home with allergies or asthma, or you've ever done a renovation. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Increasing cloud cover expected by later this afternoon, and we should see some scattered rain showers move in by late in the day. We'll top out near 64 southeast winds, 15 to 25. A lingering chance of showers early tonight, then clearing with a low of 34. A beautiful Saturday on the way, mostly sunny with a high of 62. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And things have obviously been pretty challenging lately with new vehicles, with all the microchip and supply chain issues, but things continue to loosen up as Koppel gets more and more new vehicles in each and every week. We've had many customers also custom order their vehicles. So if you don't see what you want in our current inventory, we can put an order in to get exactly what you want. So go online, reserve your new vehicle at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Why do I like blue bloods? Here's why. If you're successful over time, that's the true test. And in my lifetime, North Carolina basketball, Kansas basketball, Duke basketball in my lifetime has almost always been good. I mean, all three of them. I mean, it's reliable, and they should be good because they put so much energy into it.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In baseball on Thursday, Lincoln Christian beat Fairbury 5-2 in the 9th inning. Tyson Workman had a 2-run triple deep in the 9th to give the Crusaders the lead. Lincoln East went over Kearney 12-2, and Lincoln Southwest just got by Norfolk in a high-scoring game 17-16. Kyle Newell had the walk-off single in the 9th to win. Waverly beat Blair 7-4. James Van Cleve from the mound had 10 strikeouts and only gave up 1 run for Waverly. In girls soccer, Lincoln East shut out Norfolk 8-0. Kama Carpenter had 4 goals for the Spartans. Omaha Central won over Lincoln High by 2 goals. And in boys soccer, Lincoln East beat Norfolk 5-1. Lincoln Northeast won over Fremont 3-1. Lincoln Pius X got past Omaha Burke 4-2. Morgan Armagos led the Bolts with a goal and an assist. And Lincoln Southwest won over Columbus 1-0. Leighton Jepson had the only goal of the game for the win. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to the weekend for you guys out there. It is it's that time. It's getting there, and it is, of course, Final Four weekend, so we're always looking forward to that. We previewed that. We've done a lot today here live from the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. If you're in the area now, and it's only in the area because you can't drive across town, but there's buy one, get one free on Steakhouse Burger Patties if you can make it in here in the next few minutes. So we'd like to thank the Mercato for sponsoring us every day and for allowing us to come out here. We've had a lot of fun. We got some take-home gifts. We're very excited for it. And we'll wrap it up here with our, as tradition, our NBA segment, Hitting the Hardwood here with Strick. And it's kind of an interesting one, I think, because KD is once in the news, and as he usually seems to be sticking around there. He wants his jersey retired. He's called it out. He said that he thinks he deserves to have his jersey retired, both in OKC, where he won his MVP, and in the Golden State, San Francisco, where he won
Brooklyn too?
championship.
I mean,
he hasn't said Brooklyn.
Like
he probably hasn't earned Brooklyn.
Back in Texas too, like
yeah,
everywhere,
maybe Texas.
everywhere.
He wants
touched
everybody
ground.
to retire his jersey.
Seattle too.
Yeah, he maybe wants that too. But I mean, and it sounds maybe it's not good because it comes from him, right? That doesn't sound like maybe your kind of ego getting out of control. But at the same time, he's right. I mean, he probably deserves his jersey retired in both those spots.
I would venture to say Golden State now.
No,
because man, listen, you got busy, you came in, hit for a few years, and then you bounce. Like, bro, you weren't there long enough. Like, no, I can't do that, bro. You were on a rookie contract basically within 4 years. No, I'm not rolling with that one. I definitely would say probably OKC.
Yeah, well, OKC retired Nick Collison's jersey, and nothing gets Nick Collison's, but I don't, I think they could retire just about anybody's jersey if you're going to do that, just because he's a long tenured member of the team, but probably not necessarily deserving to have his name in the rafters. And if he does, then maybe KD probably deserves that as well. You wonder in OKC, do you think they'll put up Westbrook, KD, and Harden, all of them up there? I mean, it's not a long tenured, obviously, franchise.
They probably could. I definitely would say probably KD and Harden. Not Harden, but KD and Westbrook.
Both guys that won MVPs there.
Yeah, but I don't know if you would. But where would Harden go up? That's the crazy part about it, right? Yeah. I mean, where else would he go up? I mean, I don't see. He's not going up in Brooklyn. I don't know. Maybe Houston. Houston. But yeah. I mean, not a long tenure. You throw those two, depending on how he ends in his career. Possible.
Do you think that KD's ultimately going to be, he's an all-time great, one of the best probably 15 players of all time, maybe top 20 at least. Do you think that ultimately his legacy is going to be defined on what happened here in Brooklyn, or as time passes, we're kind of in the heat of the moment? If it doesn't work out in Brooklyn, can we still look back at him and kind of reminisce on his days with Golden State to win those titles, or maybe more so in OKC?
I don't feel that whatever he's done there is on him. I don't think it's
in Golden State.
I don't think, and even in Brooklyn, I just think they've just been. If there was a voodoo curse, that was maybe somebody that put something under their bed or in their lockers or something. Remember Joe Boo?
Oh yeah. Maybe that's what's going on. Yeah.
Maybe I think somebody that went in there and Joe Booed, Brooklyn, right?
Yeah,
because it just seems like there's always something. happens that causes them to not be able to get over the hump.
And we'll see, but I mean, I think I could have predicted there's not enough ball for Harden and Kyrie to play together. So that was always, it's not always just the big three. Maybe, you think you could just throw them all in there and they'll figure it out. But some of those clashing playing styles, I think, is what's hurt them. Maybe Ben Simmons can make up for that. We'll see. Maybe that's the missing piece. Probably won't be this season. That's like
believing Markelle Fultz is going to be an All-Star. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe Orlando Magic have something there. That'll wrap it up for On the Block. Once again, thank you for joining us. We were live from the Mercato by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. Would love to do it again. Hopefully we'll be out here again. We'll definitely be back here, back on your airwaves on Monday, ready for the championship game. Enjoy Final Four weekend, and just enjoy the weekend altogether. Have a good one. This was On the Block.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of Husker Online.